This is just a quick little tutorial on how to make this poinsettia burlap Christmas ornament. So I have my burlap right here, and then here's the pattern piece. Yours will come like this, and you just cut out 5 burlap petals. I like to double my burlap so that I cut out 2 at a time. I don't even use a pen to pin down the pattern. I just kind of cut around. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. It can be off. So these are actually pretty good scissors. If you don't have good scissors, cutting the burlap will be a pain. So after you've cut them, you have your piece that looks like this. This is your petal. And you take your glue gun, and I've got mine right here. I do just see a line right down the middle like that. And I'm using actually really hot glue. It's a hot glue gun as opposed to a warm one. So yeah, I'm kind of just quickly doing that, folding it in half, and then in half again the long way. Okay, so that's my little petal for my poinsettia. I wanted to show you again what I did. So I'm going to put a line of hot glue down here, then I fold it in half and kind of pinch it like that, and that will be my first fold. While the glue is still warm, I'll fold it again and pinch it and then kind of hold it in place. If I'm a little bit nervous about the hot glue and I don't want to burn my fingers, then you can use something like this and just kind of hold it in place while you're making your other petals. So I've already made my petals, and I'm going to do this one so you can just see it again. Here's my straight line down, and then I'll take it and pinch. It's hot still. I'm going to turn it and then kind of pinch. Now after you do that, there's an edge right here that you need to cut off. You can wait till the glue dries a little bit so that your scissors don't get too gummy. But I'm just going to do a little diagonal cut right here to cut that center piece off, and you'll see why in just a minute. After I'm done with that, I'm going to take my wood piece, and I've noticed that if the poinsettia is a little smaller than the wood piece, it actually looks a little bit better to have some of the wood in the background. It's come together pretty quickly. So I'll just put my circle of hot glue in the middle, and you don't need a ton, but I'm pretty liberal with my glue. And you're going to start gluing your little poinsettia pieces around. I have pre-made these, of course. And depending on how big your wood circle is, it will make a difference as to how many of these little petals you'll need. You don't want to cram them in there or shove them in there because it just doesn't look very good. You want them to be kind of loose. Once you have them on your piece of wood, I kind of put my finger in just a little bit in the middle. I don't want to push the petals down a bunch, otherwise they'll be flat. But I do want to make sure that they're not just crammed in there so tight that they're not opening up nicely. And I'm looking at the center here and making sure that everything kind of lines up there in the center, as opposed to sometimes the pieces are off. So if there's one piece that's kind of crooked like that, it looks weird. So I make sure all of the points are right there touching, right there in the center. And you remember cutting it down, the middle part's down, and that was so that you could put your little bell in it. So here's my little bell, and I'll just stick that in the middle, and that's like the little yellow part of your poinsettia flower. That's just a little bell. Then I take my jute or whatever you're using to hang it with. This is twine that I bought from Lowe's, and yeah, so what I like to do with this is you can kind of find your spot where it looks like the poinsettia is mostly right side up, so I'm thinking it's right here. And I'll put my glue on here, and I want to make sure that my glue goes right to the top and even almost over the top a little bit. So I take my glue, and I'm going to set my jute right on it, and I've got to grab something right back here, and this is just a little piece of felt, and you can use whatever color felt you want. I just happen to have black right here. So I'm going to make sure that my rope is not twisted, because then it will twist when it's on the tree. Here we go. Let me pull this over here so you can see it better. And yeah, it's so tricky. So then I can use this and put it on, and that kind of just helps to hold the, I'm pushing really tight. That just helps to hold the hanging thing in place. And then what I like to do, if you hang it on the tree, sometimes if you're hanging it, it will tend to want to fall forward and it looks weird again on the tree. So I like to finish it off by just doing a little glue on the top like that, and then I fold my my hanger rope a little over the edge and let it kind of just hold on tight. So that way now don't hang it up, wait till it dries. It has to dry nice and well. Don't touch anything. Let it dry and it should hang nicely. So, here we are. And that's basically it. It comes together pretty quickly. Don't forget to clean it up a little bit. There might be some stragglers. Get all the glue off, the little, I don't know, webbing of glue that sometimes comes with the hot glue gun. Clean it up and make it look nice. But there you go. There's your poinsettia, wooden poinsettia ornament.